everybody, this is Caitlin Classing, and I am back with the final vlog for our 2023 U.S. Event Horse Futurity winner, TGS Lion Sunshine, aka Rooney, owned and bred by Ann O'Donnell of Top Gun Stables. Rooney was absolutely spectacular at Fair Hill, and I'm excited to talk you guys through her performance. And it was also the first time that we got to meet her owner and breeder, Ann, in person, and that made for a really lovely visit, and we're thrilled that her horse went so well and was able to showcase her breeding program so beautifully. So we're really grateful to Dee Dee and Lori for putting on the Futurity and giving us the opportunity to connect with breeders of U.S. event horses. As riders, we know how important it is to have really quality horses available to us, and we cannot thank Dee Dee, Lori, Ann, and everybody involved with the Futurity enough for giving us this opportunity. So this was Rooney's last competition before heading to the championships. We took her to a jumper show that we felt had a little bit more atmosphere and would prep her for what she would see at Fair Hill. But this was probably about 3 weeks out, and then she didn't leave the property again after that because we feel like she's such a confident and sure of herself mare that we wanted to give her the chance to arrive at the championships a little bit fresh and notice the atmosphere, and I felt like she did. So here she is at Fair Hill, and it is the first time I've felt her notice the atmosphere at a show a little bit, and it was mostly seeing the horses in the upper ring and the lower ring. She just felt a little bit surprised that a horse show really can be that busy, but as always she handled it beautifully, and I felt like the atmosphere, because we had a plan for the extra energy, we had a nice channel, had her going forward from her legs, she was able to use that kind of buzz from the place to show herself to the best of her ability. It was lovely to have Linda Zhang as the judge for the dressage phase because she's just so knowledgeable. And her comments were very complimentary. The only thing that she'd sort of noticed or pointed out was that Rooney needed to continue to learn to carry her head and carry her own balance, which we would be in total agreement with. And that is one of the nice things about being a smaller rider on a bigger horse, is that I cannot physically carry her. And she's so balanced and so light in her way of going that most of the time it's not an issue, but you can see every once in a while her poll get a little bit low and her nose come behind the vertical. And that's just where she's looking for my hand to balance rather than balancing off of the push from her hind end. But at 4 years old, I just can't wait to see how much development she has to do on the flat, because I think with a little bit more time and strength, there's really a lot more to come for such a naturally balanced and athletic horse already. And then in the conformation, she was obviously a really impressive individual. And I was also really pleased that the judges commented on how well-mannered she was. When we first started working with Rooney, we noticed that she's very, very smart, and although she's very polite on the ground, she has to have a job, and she has to be aware that when she's working with the people, whether it's in ridden work or on the ground, that there's always a clear expectation and a clear boundary. So that's what we look to do all the time, not just in the riding work. And then here you can see her in the cross-country phase. We had some video of the show jumping as well, but it was a little bit further away, so I thought this showed her a little bit better. But you can see just she's carrying a really lovely natural rhythm, showing her technique and her scope over the jumps. And it doesn't always happen that these young horses can show themselves to the best of their ability on the day in the atmosphere. But I felt like Rooney really was able to, and I was incredibly pleased with her overall performance. And in the comments from the judges, the one place that I would have to disagree a little bit is they had commented that she could carry a bit more pace in the cross-country section, and I know Peter Gray had ahead of time said that he wanted to see a change, whereas last year Marilyn Payne had expressed just wanting to see that rhythm carry over, and I would be much more of the school of thought that the rhythm has to be the most important and the balance has to be more important, and the horses have a long career to learn to go faster. But for me, at this point in Rooney's career, she's so big and so scopy that if I added pace, it would feel like the balance got a little bit compromised and the jumps turned into a little bit of speed bumps. So I really wanted her to be able to read the fences in front of her and show her technique and show her scope. And here you can see she's going to leave a stride out, but that was lovely, so confident, so game. And I was also really pleased that she was able to show a little bit of her personality. We had a few Rooney flybucks. This is when we started out on cross country, and then again you'll see when we go to gallop, so it's just when I kind of let her loose a little bit that she just lets loose herself with a bit of joy. And I'm really glad that the judges took it in the manner in which I do, which is that it's just an athletic horse having a really good time. And I was pleased with her gallop as well, that she was able to add that pace without the jumps in front of her, but to keep her balance, keep her length of stride, and she didn't just start to scuttle across the ground, but she really showed the range of her step. So I was incredibly pleased. And her performance was rewarded. She finished 6th overall and was the highest placed U.S. bred horse, so winner of the U.S. Event Horse Futurity. And we're so pleased for Anne to have Rooney really represent her breeding program. And there's not much left to be said except for a big go green, ride Irish. We are so happy for you, Anne, and so happy for Rooney. We're looking forward to next year already.